Good evening. My name is Hannah Abraham, and I'm a certified life coach in East Brunswick, New Jersey. And I wanted to talk to you today about um, the transitioning stages that we go through in life. Um, I don't know about you guys, but as a child, I used to love to play with caterpillars. I know it sounds weird, but I did. I loved to play with them. And I would have them in a little box and, went through the whole thing and where it would, go become like a cocoon. And then I would just sit there and wait for it to be a butterfly. And it was amazing when I watched the transition that the caterpillar went through. And this happened every year. I just used to love doing that. Um, and as an adult, it just made me realize how powerful that little caterpillar is and the transition that it goes through and how beautiful it becomes after all the pain that it went through. It just died and it just sat still, or it didn't move for I don't remember how long. I think it was like a couple of weeks. It just sat there and it just, the cocoon got bigger and bigger, and I used to think about it, and I'd be like, "Are you okay in there? Are you really dead, or are you alive? Or how are you going to transition into a butterfly? And are you going to make it?" Um, and as I got older, and I watched, um, we go through things where we feel like there are stages in our lives where we feel like everything is perfect. It just can't get any better. And the second we, get comfortable, something happens, and now we have to deal with a new transitioning stage, and we have to deal with new obstacles, and suddenly it changes our entire life, and we stand at a state at a moment where, okay, my life is about to change, and I have to make decisions, life-changing decisions, that it will remind me of what life used to be, and I'm terrified of what life is about to become. And we go through things like that all throughout our lives, but there's always that one moment that, or maybe a few moments, depending on what happens in each person's life, that we will never forget what happened and how our lives were turned upside down, and what we had to do to fix it or to live through it. For example, like in my case, it was, 2010. I mean, people that know me will know that my whole life changed. My whole life turned upside down in that year. And, um, you know, what was never was again. And what was about to become, I had no idea what was going to happen to me, or my family, on how, or how we're going to survive, what's going to happen, what's the future going to be like. And at that moment, you find yourself become a totally different person. If you were, you were comfortable, and you're reliant on other people, and you were just happy, and you were doing your thing, and everything was good, and suddenly you got to take care of business. You become a totally different person. And of course, I'm not speaking on my behalf. I'm speaking on everybody's behalf, that I'm sure everybody in their life has gone through something where they had to change. But the thing is, when we go through that transition stage, if you step back and look at what happens, what actually happens is that at first you just stand still because you're in shock. You don't know how to handle it. And then little time goes by, and you realize if you don't handle it, nobody else will, so you better do something about it. So you start to find ways of taking care of your life, and find ways of taking care of your surroundings, and whatever it is that needs to be done, you're on top of it. And you're on top of it more than you imagined you can even be on top of things like that. And you do things that you never imagined possible for you to be able to do. And then, you have the people, around you that are watching all this happen, because now it's just simply your turn. And of course, everybody else has their own turn, either before you or after you, in different ways. But as it happens, you know, you are changing. You are forced to change. You have no chance. You have no choice. You have to keep changing, and you have to keep getting stronger, and because you need to survive. Meanwhile, you get people that are saying, "Wow, that person is really changing." And you go, "Yeah, I am, because you know what? I got to do this. I got to survive, because nobody else is going to help me do it." So the reason I'm saying all this is, when you need to do something, you do it. Don't let anything hold you back. No one is going to really hold you up except yourself. No matter how much you're going to ask for help, or no matter how much people are going to try to help, you have to have your strength to stand up and take care of your business, and be empowered to do whatever it is that you need to do to just change your life around, and do whatever it is that you have to do at this moment. So empowering yourself is a strength, it's not a weakness. Changing according to what you need to do is not a weakness, it's a strength. So don't be held back by people, or what will people think, or people will say that I've changed, or people will, they're not going to be my friends anymore because I'm doing things differently. If they're not there with you when you need them, they're already not your friends. So, but what's going to happen is, as you transition, as you empower yourself to be who you need to be, you will create new friends that will enter your life, that will understand and respect where you are, and they probably will even be better than you are, and they will encourage you to do more, and they will give you something to look at and say, wait, I want to be like that, and then you become even more empowered. So please don't be held back by anything or by anybody. Long as you do what's right and what's good for you and for others, don't let anything hold you back. If you need to talk, I'm here. My number is 848-273-0988. And this message is to tell you, empower yourself. Be strong. Don't be weak. I love you.